So let's talk mobile hunting and the rain. And that's just not a topic that is awesome. And seeing how we've had some rainstorms and snow come right through, I thought I could give some quick tips and advice from doing it here in the past, and we kind of have some systems in play to make it just a touch better and manageable. Let's talk number one. The number one tip I would have is bring a spare outer layer. Because when you're hugging the tree or even commuting, walking, climbing, you're going to get wet. So I like to wear a different pair of gloves that I'm going to hunt with in a different outer layer type system. And a lot of times I like something that's a little bit wind or waterproofish, not necessarily really. Obviously spare gloves I feel like are huge and important, because if it's cold temps I don't like to be bare gloved as far as walking in there and handling sticks and stand. But you're obviously going to get wet from handling the straps, the ropes, the tree itself, holding on to it. So a change of gloves before a hunt obviously is a key thing. Now, storing those, I just put them at the base of the tree. You got to sacrifice something. Run and gun hunting isn't exactly the easy man's game. The other thing is obviously you don't want to stretch your sticks near as much. I think that's just common sense in the slicker environments. And if you have multiple setups, going with the best climbing setup you got. For example, the XOP triple steps. They've got the big arc on the for boot slip. The other thing is visualization on deer. Because of the rain, like, you're not going to have the ability to hear them as much. And so like visually, when I set a stand for a rainy set, I rely on my eyes a lot more than my ears. Many times in a perfect ambush point, I will hide on the back side of the tree. Hearing the deer coming is a little easier and get in position to shoot. When I do a rainy hunt, a lot of times I like to actually be looking the most likely way I think I'm going to shoot a deer, because that visual is just so important. The other day I actually got busted because the deer came from behind me 60, 80 yards. I caught a glimpse of rack, and trying to turn and pivot to see who he really was made him catch me essentially, and he decided not to come through the system. The other thing I think is worth mentioning is sitting versus standing. And I'm traditionally a standing guy, but in rainy conditions, or maybe the deer's going to be under 30 yards by the time you figure out he's there, if it's like a tight quarter and just didn't hear him coming in, I sometimes give a nod to the seated position, because if you can have your bow somewhat propped or in close vicinity, you can get to draw and shoot a lot quicker and just less overall movement than if you were standing and on the wrong side of the tree and you got to pivot. I do kind of favor a seated one draw motion essentially to make that possible shot happen. Guys, I appreciate you watching this video. If you're still grinding the rut like myself, good luck.